Coming up on Michigan Replay, we get set for the season by meeting the key Wolverines returning for the 2005 run at another Big Ten title. We'll also meet Michigan's newest assistant, who didn't have far to move to take the job. And we'll look ahead to the opener as we scout Northern Illinois. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Abso Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. And by Chevrolet. Chevy drives the Motor City. See your Detroit area Chevy dealers today or log on to DetroitAreaChevyDealers.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. Well, it's another season. I think this is 31 Michigan Replay years. It is your 11th as the head football coach at Michigan Replay. Lloyd Carr, by the way, everyone.
Time flies, doesn't it, Jim?
It's amazing.
We had a dinner the other night. 31 years. Some of our sponsors have been with us.
Isn't that amazing?
Replay, and of course Bob Lipson. And how many years is this for you?
This is 26 for me.
26.
You know, when you came here as an assistant in 1980, was my first year doing the show with Bo. Isn't that amazing?
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. When you first got here as an assistant, and I'll bet we did a feature on you when you came in that first year.
I doubt it.
Oh, yeah. You were defensive backs coach, right?
Yeah. Yes, I was.
See, I knew that stuff. So, did you have a good summer?
I had a great summer.
Did you do
How
anything?
about you?
I had a great. We traveled to Ireland. We had a good trip to Ireland.
You go to Ireland every year.
I played golf because I've got to get good enough to be able to compete with you.
I don't think you'll ever be that.
Oh, you're cruising for it now.
I beat Frank Beckman.
Did you?
Yes, and I beat Ron Kramer this summer, so I'm very pleased with my.
Well, we ought to get a plaque and put it up in your office.
They'll deny it. They'll deny it, just like you did.
Well, but the truth is, I got a scorecard that proves it didn't go that way.
You got even.
Anything fun you did this summer? Did June Laurie take a trip or do anything fun?
No, we
stuck around home.
Stuck around home and got refreshed, ready to go, Jim.
Well,
I'm glad to be here.
I was going to say, no place you'd rather be.
No
right?
place.
First of all, welcome back. How are you feeling about the football season? Everybody thinks that you got a pretty good team on your hands, Coach.
Well, we do have a pretty good team, and but we got to take it to the stadium on Saturday. We've had a very, very good training camp. It's been very, very warm, probably the warmest that I can remember, but I think it's been good for our conditioning. And we got a lot of young guys coming along, and it's going to be another exciting season.
One of the biggest things that everybody has talked about going into this preseason, everybody feels the offense is going to be dynamite. You got a lot of guys returning, a lot of skilled guys, even with Braylon Edwards gone. The offense is getting a lot of play, but the defense, people are questioning. Would you take issue with that?
Well, I think it's understandable why they would question it because of simply the way we finished the season. But this is a new team, and just as we have to find out if this offense can pick up where we left off, and that won't be easy because we lost some great football players, but we do have a lot of people back on both sides of the football, and I think we have outstanding leadership.
And let's take a look at the players coming back on defense. One of your outstanding leaders, a key guy, is co-captain Pat Massey.
Well, Massey's 6'8", 285 pounds. He's had a wonderful fall. He's been selected as a co-captain, a great leader, and I'm expecting a great season out of Pat.
And Lamar Woodley just can be a dominant player.
Well, Lamar Woodley, Jim, is one of those guys that has his destiny can be greatness if he just plays like he's capable and continues to improve.
Pierre Woods has been around for a long time, continues to play well.
Pierre started 2 years ago, started some games a year ago, but had some injuries and did not play as well as he was capable. He's back, and I think he's going to be what he was 2 years ago.
Good to have Scotty McClintock back in the middle, along with Ryan Mundy as safety.
Well, Ryan Mundy has missed some of our training camp. He's back, ready to go this week. And I think the key is if he can stay healthy. He's a returning starter and a guy that we need to have in there.
Some people have talked about the secondary as being a weak spot. I think Leon Hall could be one of the stronger corners you guys have had with Marlon Jackson kind of ability.
Jim, Leon Hall came in and played as a true freshman and did some wonderful things. He started every game a year ago. And I think he has a chance to be one of the better corners around.
One guy we didn't see, but he's still out there, is Gabe Watson, a big interior lineman. Tell us what Gabe's doing. Is he all right?
Gabe has had a very good training camp. I think the biggest thing he needed to do was to commit himself, and I think his weight is improving. He's had a good camp, and I think he's ready to be the kind of nose guard we hoped he would be when he came here.
All right. When we come back, we will take a look at the offensive players returning. Before we do, talk to Leon Hall about this Michigan defense having something to prove this season.
We just want to put that behind us, put last year behind us, and build our reputation back up. And that starts with getting to the ball, making plays, know what you're doing on the defense. So really, we just want to put that behind us and come out to that first game and show people what we're about.
Michigan Replay takes you inside the locker room.
When people mention Chad's name, they mention my name. When they mention my name, they mention Chad's name. So, I think, we, like you said, our freshman years were a lot of like we came in, no one expected us to start, but we came in and we had great years, and I think we both had a lot of pressure on our backs this year coming in, to perform because, we're the leaders of the offense this year, I guess you could say.
You just heard from Michael Hart, a true freshman a year ago, started at tailback, great year. And I want to go back a year. We talked a year ago at this show.
Back.
I know, but we talked a year ago, who are you going to have starting at quarterback, who are you going to have a running back? There were big questions about that. I want to tell you, last year was an incredible year of coaching. To think that you and your staff, freshman quarterback, freshman running back for the most part, win a Big Ten championship, go to the BCS Bowl. Coach, you should be commended, and the staff. That's a great job.
Well, Jim, give the credit to Fred Jackson and Scott Leffler and all of our offensive coaches, because I think they designed an offense once we had to go with Chad Henne that enabled him to have some success and to improve as the season went on. And certainly with Michael Hart, that kid is something special.
But now that's over.
Yeah, that's over.
That's over.
It's time to do it again.
Now you better do it again or even get better. And you've got the guys to do it. We'll start up front in your offensive line. Adam Stenovich coming back at tackle. The one guy you may miss, Jake Long, injured but not out for the year, right?
Well, we're going to miss him for some significant time. And of course, Adam Stenovich, an all Big Ten tackle a year ago. Stenovich, I think, is also all Big Ten and an outstanding player.
And at guard, you have Matt Lentz. This guy's been there, it seems like, forever.
Matt Lentz has been here forever. And the thing that you do sometimes is take a guy who's just so consistent, plays so hard, loves the game, loves Michigan. That's Matt Lentz.
And Reuben Riley, here's a guy that can play a lot of different positions, gives you some flexibility.
Well, Reuben stepped in a year ago midway through the season when Leo Hennigy was hurt and had an outstanding 5 games, and we're expecting good things from him.
And a couple of good tight ends in Tim Massaquoi and Tyler Eckert.
Jim, I think as a duo, they're as good as there is in the country. I think Massaquoi came here as a wide receiver, moved to tight end 4 years ago, and now is back. And Tyler Eckert is a guy that can really run and stretch a defense, great hands. They're a great addition to our offense.
And expectations for the young quarterback are going to be huge. Chad Henne is going to have to step up again.
Well, I think he's prepared. He's worked hard, and he's a guy that loves the meetings and all the things that go into being a quarterback, in addition to being on the practice field.
Another quarterback, Matt Gutierrez. Tough luck, but this kid can play.
Well, he's a great competitor, a great worker. And he's really pushed Chad Henne. I think we've got a great quarterback situation because I have great confidence in Matt Gutierrez. And
we talked about Michael Hart, just kid out of New York, came busted into this Big Ten and let them all know who he was.
Jim, when you talk about Michael Hart, the thing that stands out in my mind is he fumbled the ball 1 time last year. And that's an exceptional for a guy that as young as he is.
Co-captain Jason Avant back.
Avant played some as a freshman, started as a sophomore, has had a great career, going to be a great leader.
How about a special big play guy. Is Steve Breston that guy?
Well, he's exciting. I'll tell you, when he gets the football, you got to be paying attention because you may miss something.
Steve, of course, is a great receiver. Now we'll move to special teams, and Garrett Rivas comes back as your placement kicker. Good to have a veteran there.
Well, Garrett Rivas has been consistent from the day he got here. He made some big kicks a year ago that won a couple of games for us and gave us a chance to win the Rose Bowl in the last few minutes of the game. And
we go back to Breston from a kick return standpoint. As you said while we were watching this earlier, you can make something out of nothing.
Well, Breston has a chance, Jim, to become the finest punt returner in the history of Michigan football. So he's certainly a weapon for us. He can change the momentum in the game. He can certainly change field position.
Two things to talk about. One, punting. We didn't get to that. You feel comfortable?
Well, I think we've had great competition. Zoltan Mesko, a freshman from Twinsburg, Ohio, is a left footer, has really had a good fall. Ross Ryan, who will handle our kickoff duties, and he's got a great leg, and Mark Spencer. So, Jim, we'll decide that this evening, and we'll be ready to go Saturday afternoon. But whoever it is has had a good fall.
Last question on players back. Any true freshmen, folks out there watching that first game, won't recognize the number or name. Any true freshman going to have an impact?
Well, I think Mario Manningham has had an exceptional fall. He is a young freshman from Warren, Ohio, wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
And Antonio Bass has missed some practice because of an injury, but I think both those kids are going to contribute. Brandon Harrison will contribute on defense, and there's a handful of others, and we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see with Lloyd. When you come back, we're going to meet the new coach on the Michigan staff. But first, we hear from Pat Massey and Jason Avant, the newly elected Michigan captain.
I'll tell you what, when I stood up in front of those guys last night, just took a look around the room, just, especially the guys up front, it was just a real honor. Just looking them in the eye, just, knowing they voted for me. Out of that group of seniors, it was something else.
One of the things that Coach Carr told me when the team selected me is that Jason don't really have to do nothing. I don't have to do anything. Just all I have to do is continue to be the guy that I've been the last 3 years, being dependable on the field and doing the things that I do in practice every day. I'm not a rah-rah guy all the time, but my teammates see that I work hard, and all I got to do is continue to do what I've done already.
Thumbs up, elbows in, stick your foot. Bam! Explode, clap back, thumbs up, elbows in, stick your foot. Bam! Stick your left foot now, stick your left foot now. Bam!
Every year brings changes to a football program. Whether it's incoming freshmen or new expectations, there's always some change. For Steve Stripling, Michigan's new defensive line coach, the change is huge. You see, a year ago, he was wearing green and white as an assistant coach at Michigan State. He's also coached at Indiana and Minnesota. This will be his 20th year as a coach in the Big Ten, but his first at Michigan, and he does sense a difference.
Well, I sense it in the fact that you come in here and the aspirations and goals that we set here are extremely high. We talk in terms of national championships and Big Ten championships. And over the years, I've been in programs where we're battling for a lot of times respectability to get to a bowl game, those kind of things. So when you come in the building, I think you recognize it right away that the tradition is here and the expectations are here. And so I think that's what separates us from the other programs.
At Michigan State, he coached the defensive line and saw a lot of the spread offense, which the Spartans run. That offense gave a lot of defenses trouble a year ago, including Michigan's. But Stripling says he's not on board at Michigan as some kind of spread stopper.
Well, I think there's a little misconception. There's not a lot of secrets in football. You trade every game. And when you look at our schedule this year, we actually have possibly 5 teams that are spread offensive teams. So your off-season research is geared towards that. And naturally, playing against it every day in practice, you might pick up some points. But there's not secrets in football. You're going to do your research. You're going to prepare for a game. So what I hopefully bring in is some experience to the defensive line here. I've been in the Big Ten, different styles. I've played against Big Tens over the years, so I hope my experience can help the defensive line be productive.
We can guarantee that Steve Stripling will be productive. He's the type of guy that embraces the pressure of high expectations and loves the challenge.
It's pressure when we ask you to do something you can't do. Okay, it's not pressure if we're just asking you to do what you can do. So if you have the building, you have the facilities, and you have the coaching, we're just asking you to do your job, to do what you can accomplish. So stress is what you make of it.
Get your hips flipped. Push, pull. Get your hips flipped. Ready. Go. Flip, spin, push, pull. There you go. Nice job. Nice job. Here you go.
You got that competitive spirit. I think every coach has that, and it goes from the first individual drill. You want your guys to defeat the guy that's over them. So you have that competitive spirit, and it's from every individual drill to a team drill to a game day, and that's what you thrive on.
You know, one of the interesting stories about Coach Stripling is the fact that he comes from Michigan State a year ago, and he told me after we did the interview, he said, one thing Coach Carr told me after I signed on, he said, you'll never regret coming to Michigan. And I told him Coach Carr was right.
Well, I think he's been a great addition. I think he's not only a great teacher, which is critical, he's a great guy. He's a guy that players relate to, and from a coaching standpoint, he brings a wealth of experience, and he is one guy that I'm excited to have here.
You want him in the foxhole next to you, don't you?
Absolutely.
Well, that's good because he's going to be in the foxhole, and it's going to start next week as the Wolverines open with Northern Illinois. When we come back, we'll have the scouting report. But first, we hear from Lamar Woodley, who says there's never a sure thing in football.
No, you can't take anybody for granted. You know, that's when you get beat. You know, when you take a team for granted, you lose games. You know, a team like Northern Illinois, had a great season last year. You know, they're going to come in here fired up, ready to go, because they're playing against Michigan.
Michigan Replay takes you inside the locker room.
Absolutely, we got to come out firing. That's what we want to do. And Northern Illinois is a good team, and they're going to come in here and play hard. And we're just, coming out firing, ready to rock.
Well, game one coming up, Northern Illinois. This is a good football team from a year ago with a head coach respect, and like, and coached with.
Joe Novak. We coached together at the University of Illinois in 1978 and 79, a long time ago, Jim.
But this guy is a foundation, fundamental kind of coach, isn't he?
Well, he beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. He beat Maryland in College Park.
That isn't bad.
So I think he knows what he's doing.
And they come in as a team tied for first a year ago in the Mid-American Conference with a quarterback, Phil Horvath, who has some experience and can throw the ball.
Jim, I think the most impressive thing you could say about them offensively is they rushed for 238 yards a game a year ago, 11th in the nation. A great tandem at tailback. Garrett Wolf was a smaller guy, averaged 6.5 yards a carry, and A.J. Harris, a big guy that's powerful and try to run over you.
And wide receiver Sam Hurd, who's a big kid at 6'2", 187.
Well, the thing they're going to do is play action pass, a lot of bootleg and off the run. They want to run the football, possess the ball, and protect their defense.
Two things about them. Number 5 in total defense in the Mid-American Conference, and number 2 in turnover margin. So you know that they like to turn the ball over.
Well, they're a very, very aggressive mentality, and I think that's the key to their resurgence. They are very, very sound fundamentally. They play very hard, and they play very well together.
As you come into this game, obviously you're going to go in as a huge favorite. It's one of those things that's going to happen. What do you worry about? What concerns you? Is it about your guys playing, the game plan and the effort and the execution?
I think an opener is always about playing to your own strengths and doing the things, concentrating on what you can do, because there's always an uncertainty. There's always some things that you have to adjust to once the game gets underway. But the most important thing is to know about your opponent is in the opener, everybody is going to give it everything they have because it's a new season and the excitement that comes with that.
And the other thing, too, about an opener like this is you got a team with the old everything to gain, nothing to lose kind of a thing. So you've got to meet their intensity level, don't you?
Well, I think absolutely. We have to understand what their mindset from the standpoint of things that they can accomplish. I think anytime you know what the other team's thinking, it helps you.
One of the things we want to talk about, too, and kind of get back to the game a little bit, but folks that come to Michigan Stadium are going to see something new between Chrysler Arena and the stadium. There's some new construction going on, and there are two facilities really in one, the Ken Mortensen Family Plaza and the Young Family Champions Center, that are going to be a bridge for people to enjoy between Chrysler and the stadium. Lloyd, you've seen it. You say it's just absolutely spectacular.
Well, Jim, with the addition of our locker room, which several years ago, and the generosity of people that really love the university, I think this is one of the more exciting projects that we've had in Michigan athletics. I mean, because of what it does, it utilizes some space at the stadium that's going to be a place where former players can come back. It's going to be a place that we can use for recruiting, both football and basketball, other sports. And it'll be a place that can do a lot of other things outside of athletics.
But the thing I like about it, too, is that you talk about the former players coming back. They can be involved in the recruiting process, and the whole history and tradition of Michigan can kind of be set down in a spot where there's a tangibility to it. It's not just out there.
Well, I don't know what tangibility means, but I can tell you this. I can say this certainly. It is one phenomenal facility, and I just want to thank those who made it possible. And anybody that has an opportunity to see it, they're going to love it.
All right, well, we hope you all get a chance to see it. We hope you all get a chance to see next week's Michigan Replay Show when we come your way with our first game show of the year, Michigan versus Northern Illinois. Same time, same place, right here on Michigan Replay. Michigan Replay has been brought to you in part by Pepsi. It's the Cola. By Sirius Satellite Radio. And by Big Boy Restaurants. Big Boy makes you say, oh boy.